Everybody, welcome back. So if you guys have seen anything coming out of AIM Surplus recently or from Atlantic Farms, you'll notice that they recently got in a batch of those Yugoslavian M70AB2s. Those are the ones that were built by Century Arms. I know a lot of you like to knock Century Arms and their quality. I don't know if these were actually done in-house, but there's been a few videos of what people got floating around out there. I know the first batch that came through from Atlantic Farms, a lot of the chambers had been modified. Looked like somebody took a Dremel to them. You guys have probably seen those videos on YouTube. I commented on a few of those. I missed out on the first batch from Atlantic. However, I was fortunate enough to get in on, I guess you could say, the first batch coming through at AIM Surplus. Atlantic was offering these for like $5.99. I think AIM Surplus had them for $6.29. I know in conversation back and forth with one of the guys at AIM Surplus, he was saying, "Hey, you know, we're missing stuff. These are more complete." I just picked this up yesterday from my FFL. Let's see, they shipped it pretty fast actually. Let's back up just a little bit. See, yesterday was the 16th. So on Monday, I had received an email from AIM Surplus saying, "Hey, you know, we've been made aware of some issues, blah, blah. We have culled the rifles." I'll try to put maybe the email correspondence up here on the left. Basically, they culled the rifles that they thought were suspect. I believe they had told me that they headspace checked the rest of them and asked me if I still wanted to keep the order. And I said, yes, I still want to keep the order. I said, I'm going to headspace check it myself when I get it. They said, cool. It took a few days for that to process, but you know, it shipped out from Ohio rather quickly. Got it in my FFL yesterday. Today, if this video makes it out of YouTube jail soon enough, today is the 17th, the day that I am shooting this. So depending on when you guys are watching it, it may be delayed a little bit. I can't help that. The algorithm does some funny things and the checks and all that stuff, even though all my stuff is marked 18 and up. But anyway, without further ado, let's dive off into this. Let's take a look at this M70AB2 used in OPT4 training and see what I got. they did open this up at my FFL to obviously get the serial number off of it. They did throw in some swag. Looks like I got some kind of cleaning cloth there. Kind of cool, as well as a sticker. So just a couple little things from AIM Surplus. They didn't have to throw that in there, but they just did. Let's see if I can get a camera shot of how it's packed. It's wrapped in bubble wrap. Of course, there's also some cardboard down in there. So let's pull this out so you guys can see what I got. Compare that to what some of the others got. I mean, honestly, I've been hearing some good things. I've been hearing some really terrible things. I've not heard anything yet bad from from AIM Surplus. Let's get that out of the way so you guys can take a good gander at this. Now, as always, yes, I covered up my serial number to protect the innocent. You only see the last few digits that are actually painted onto the bottom of the receiver. So let's take a quick look at it. I'll get as good as I can, given the lighting and given the camera. You notice there is some pitting on this. Wow, on this underfolder stock. The rear sight does work. It actually is installed correctly, unlike what one of the other YouTubers was showing. But it looks pretty decent. Of course, these are, you know, really roughed up, as you guys saw in both Atlantic and AIM Surplus's videos. There was some welding that was going on here where they had welded a blank firing adapter on there, which I guess they cleaned it up okay. It's not terrible. I'll probably likely just keep this on here just to serve as a reminder for what it is. So obviously they assigned it a new serial number, not what the Yugoslavians, I guess, originally assigned it. Originally it was a 707121, and this particular M70AB2 was manufactured in 1993. I'll try to do a close-up. Of that so you guys can see it. let's go ahead and get this stock unfolded. These things are always a pain because it usually doesn't go well on camera. The button appears to be quite tight. However, I will state there is a little bit of wobble, so I need to tighten that up some. I think I can. It'll take doing a little bit of research to check that out. And then of course I'm going to do a close-up. You guys can see this one was rack number 189. Of course, Century Arms, M70AB2 Sporter. Of course, it's got the caliber, it's got the serial number, it's AB2-whatever. These do have the Tapco G2 triggers. I believe that's a single hook. Yes, it is. By the way, as you guys saw in the YouTube disclaimer, this is, of course, unloaded. It is unlawful to ship a loaded firearm. Now, this gun, I did have it apart before I, started rolling the camera. The bore is absolutely filthy. I mean, it's very dirty. It's going to take a lot of passes with a brush. As a matter of fact, I did a few passes with a brush and ran a patch down through it just a few times, and that's what it looks like. If you guys, I don't know how well you guys can see that. Hopefully you can see it pretty decent. It's nasty. I mean, doesn't look like it's ever been cleaned. But of course they're shooting blanks. I mean, what do they care? Nothing's going down the barrel. That's got a weird paint mark right here on the safety selector. Don't know why that's there. Overall, generally the finish is pretty even. You can tell that this parts kit was pretty decently worn. But what you guys are probably wondering, hey, what about the bore? What does that look like? What about the chamber, the breech, all that fun stuff. So let's, now watch me screw this up on camera. Okay, let's take all this off. Now, I'm going to try to show you a close-up. It is absolutely filthy down in there. I'll try to do some pictures of that so you guys can see it. It is just so incredibly dirty. Now, when I did pick it up at my FFL, the guy did wipe down the bolt a little bit, so you guys can kind of see that. I don't know how well you can see it. I'll try to do some pictures once again. It's just the peening. Of course, you can see the peening right here on the back side of the carrier. Not terrible. It's kind of stopped. This is Yugoslavian, stuff. I'm not really overly concerned with it, but as you can tell, it is just filthy, absolutely filthy. So let me fold this stock out of the way so you guys can actually see what that looks like. It's dirty. Now, I don't know where I'm going to insert it into the video, but you'll see a before, do a picture there, then we'll do an after of the bore. You're not going to see much change, and it is, like I said, it's quite filthy, but it does have the sling loops present like it's supposed to, and it is not missing any parts. Now, I don't know if AIM Surplus threw this in or not, but it does have a cleaning rod. It does have bayonet lugs, which are supposed to be present on the AB2. Trying to think what else. Well, let's headspace check it. This is going to be the fun part. So I don't have a really nice set of headspace gauges. I don't have the Pacific machine tool, but I do have a set of climbers. And what we're going to do is we are going to attempt. This thing is so dirty. We're going to attempt to headspace check this on camera so you guys can see it. So, I'm not telling you a lie. Alright, so I got my climbers. I have I don't know how well you can see it. I have a no-go gauge. And I have a go gauge. I don't have a field gauge, but we're going to check it with a go and a no-go. We're going to see how well I can actually get this thing in here to check it. Of course, you want it forward of your ejector. So let's drop this in here. Let's clip it under that extractor. it's pretty much in there. You guys can see it. So once again, this is our go gauge. A little bit of pressure, she closes. Alright, let's check it once again. Wow, this is so dirty. Alright, once again, that's our go. Here's our no-go. Under the extractor for the ejector. It's really hard to do this in an AK, by the way. You just have so much limited space to work with. Alright. I'm applying a good amount of pressure, guys. Look at that. See? It's not fully closed in the battery. This gun is indeed safe, at least from a headspace perspective, to shoot. Now, is it going to be accurate? Yeah, that's as you guys saw on the bores, or pictures of the bores. That's to be determined. I may spend a little bit of time cleaning this one up, just to try to see how clean I can get that bore. I mean, that's one of my areas of contention. I mean, it is rather nasty. But, you know, I didn't buy this as, you know, a competition shooter or any of that garbage. I bought this for the cool historical collectability purposes. There's that paint on the bottom. And, you know, how many AKs can you get your hands on that were owned by the U.S. military? Even if they were only firing blanks. I don't care. Still pretty cool. I might actually submit a FOIA request to see if I can find out a little bit more. That's a Freedom of Information Act request. See if I can find out more information about this AK. I'd love to. Of course, it does have that grenade launching sight. Nothing's been boogered up with that front sight. It is run up quite far. But yeah, there you have it. There's obviously some wear on it. Yeah, I'll admit to that. But to be perfectly honest, it doesn't. I mean, it appears as though it's been unmolested. So let's go ahead and put this back together. You know, that's what I wanted to show you guys. Yeah, you're not going to see me taking it out to the range, unfortunately. I don't have a nice setup, at least not yet. I will. And when I do, I will gladly do so. Wow, that's funny. So as you can tell, I'm at the kitchen table. I'll knock some stuff over. Knocked actually the salt shaker over. But there you have it. There is my Century Arms sort of Yugoslavian or Zastava M70AB2. As you guys can tell, that underfolder stock needs some love. Maybe it's been loved too much, but it doesn't really look half bad for, you know, just a kit gun that's been beat around. And I like the character that it does have. That's pretty neat. You know, it's got your typical Yugoslavian pistol grip, but yeah, it's kind of a rattle trap. It's going to need some tightening up for sure. I wish I'd gotten one that had the Zastava or the Zastava stuff on the side of the on the side of the rear sight block. But you know, I didn't get one. It's okay. But it is a 1993 model. That's pretty cool. So anyway, as you guys know, yeah, there's gonna be tons of pictures. You've probably already seen them. I've already inserted them further in the video. But you know, I was skeptical, but it does pass the old headspace check. This gun, while it may not be accurate within, I don't know, the size of a car, it is safe to shoot, from headspace perspective anyway. And I caution that with any of you guys to make sure that you headspace check these guns, just because you need to make sure just to make sure they're safe. I mean, the riveting job does not look terrible. I did notice on this other side that rivet right there under the safety selector, it's got a little bit of rust around it, but the rest of them actually look pretty nice. I mean, pretty nice rivet job. I mean, I've got no complaints there. They look good. I expected actually some pretty boogered up ones, but there you have it. There is my Century Arms Zastava M70AB2 used for OPFOR training somewhere in California, Californistan, whatever you want to call it. Anyway, as always, guys, make sure you hit the like and subscribe button. If you like videos like this, you want to see unboxings like this, I try to do as much as I can and within my monetary constraints because I don't have any sponsorship. But I fully believe nothing stinks more than trying to make a decision about something and having nothing to make a decision about or to go off of. You know, for instance, hey, did anybody buy one of these? Hey, how did they look? Blah, 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 blah. And they may get some more of these in. I don't know how many of these are manufactured. They could get a second batch. I don't know. Somebody else out there may have a batch. I know there was another company that also bought these and sold them. They sold them for like $650. I forget who it was. One of my buddies told me about it. But, you know, I just think it's really cool to have a unique firearm that was used by the military, the U.S. military, even if it was simply for training purposes. So big shout out to AIM Surplus just for, you know, doing a class act job, catching all these before they ever shipped them out, and giving those of us that bought them, giving us consumers the opportunity to just go ahead and cancel our order if we wanted, or just to go ahead and get them. And you know, the thing is, they also told me, hey, if you see anything seriously from a serious safety perspective that you think compromises this, we'll be happy to give you or to send you an RMA number to ship it back to us. But we're confident that these are safe, these are okay, and as you guys saw in the pictures, it's been unmolested except for out here at the front sight base. So anyway, as always, guys, thank you to all my subscribers. Thank you for all your likes, your shares, your comments. It certainly helps to get the word out on stuff like this, stuff that gets suppressed more and more every day. However, hopefully in the future I'll get this thing out once I get it cleaned up really good. It's going to take a while. I gotta get this barrel cleaned up. Make sure you check out Clay County's video. Probably his may beat mine out. If it doesn't, make sure you keep an eye on his website, or not his website, on his channel. I know he's got one on the way as well. I noticed that in the comment section of back and forth with one of the other YouTubers, and I promise you he's probably going to do a first shot impression. He's probably got a lot more time on his hands than I do. So make sure you check out his video as well. If his makes it out before mine, I'll link to it in the comment section below, or in the description, actually in the description most likely. So anyway, make sure you throw some love his way. He does a lot of really cool videos. I like the work he does. So thanks, guys, and until next time, you guys have a great day.